Yeah, no, because what you were saying is very important. And I know if I don't go live now, we're gonna have that whole conversation, and it's gonna be on the cutting floor. And I've tried it where that happens, and I try to bring the person back to it, and it's never the same.
It's not the same because it's
you've
not
already
that first.
you've already said it.
Yeah.
You know that I know, so you cut out a lot of that information, and it's real hard unless somebody's really used to going back and reiterating what they said.
Yeah.
Most of the times it's like, oh, I should have gone live and we should have captured that.
Fortunately,
so I didn't want to
like
be I wasn't trying to be rude. I just wanted to make sure that because I knew we were headed in that direction where we were going to get into it, and then it'd be like, oh, let's go live now, and then it would have been like, poof, the magic is gone.
Yeah. Dude, I have no problem like rehashing conversation. By day, I'm a product manager in the tech industry, and all I do is like just platform evangelism. Like it's just selling all the time. And so this is like starting AquaFindr is pretty rote for me. It's amazing and it's fun and it's a great experience, but it's very like I quit my day job and then I open up my laptop and I basically do the same thing for AquaFindr. Like it's a blast.
Oh, okay. Before we really get going into here, I want to acknowledge some of the people that have joined us. I am a terrible, terrible host because I never.
Oh,
I do this in the beginning.
I just found the chat.
Then I try not to focus too much in the chat because I get so sidetracked. I get so.
Connect to YouTube.
Did I hear my voice again? Oh, do you have the YouTube stream up?
I'm getting there. Having trouble connecting to your YouTube account.
I lost. Oh, there you are. You can go to the YouTube account. Just make sure you turn down the volume so we don't get that feedback.
Yeah, I'm trying to connect.
But while you do that,
chat. You go. You're good.
Okay, if you go to the top right corner, you'll see where it says comments on the screen, and you can open that up, and it'll give you the comments that are there.
Yep.
So before we get going in here, let me make sure I acknowledge some of the people that are here. Sam from Why Are We Always Yelling? Thank you so much for being the first one in here, and not only that, for posting the GoFundMe for Fishy Biz for the turkey drive that he's doing for the people in his community for these holidays. So thank you so much for doing that. And obviously, I got to thank Empire of Dirt Aquatics, Jeff Kane, because he's kind of one of the big instigators, one of the movers and shakers that made this happen, and putting you and I together. So thank you, Jeff, for that. Also, Linda Worth, thanks for being here. David Aquatics, thanks for joining us. And I know we started a little bit early. It's probably just going to send out the notification now for those that had required the notification. But like I was telling Greg, I kind of stopped the mid sentence because we were starting to discuss the project a little bit, and I said, "Wait a minute, let's just hold off. We'll go live. This way, you guys can all hear what he was telling me." J Rock, thanks so much for coming in here. So, Greg, if you don't mind introducing yourself to those that don't know you or meeting you for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to. My name's Greg Thoman. I live in Middle Tennessee. I am in the tech industry. So kind of just in and around technology in general by day. I am a principal product manager for a tech company here in Nashville. And so I am very used to looking at systemic problems and trying to find technical solutions for problems in the real world. And that's very normal for my day job. A little bit about me in general is I've got birds and I have fish and we've got a cat. We have a couple dogs. We also foster dogs. So we have, I like to call it a rotating number of dogs. So that's always happening. This bird that is going to frequent the stream is named Ravioli. So he has a lot of fun. And I've done, like, historically, I've done just about everything. I've done a lot of technical work. I've done computer engineering. I've done web development. I've done gosh, landscaping, hardscaping, ponds, irrigation. Then I got into home remodeling and build outs and basements and bathrooms and electric and plumbing. And then that got me toward like cable and internet stuff with Comcast, and then fell deep into the tech sector, and then kind of slowly made my way over to product management. And then I would do I have time to tell you the story of how I got into aquatics?
Yes.
I guess that's what this is mostly about.
Yeah.
So I have a buddy in the UK that I used to work with at this tech company. And he is big into aquatics, breeds Tamasaba goldfish over there. And is now like raising koi and stuff like that. And one day I was like, I'd love to have an aquarium at some point, but it's just so much work. I don't even like, I remember having them growing up, and like fish are always dying and all. He's like, well, let me show you how to do this. And it won't be that big of a deal. So he gave me a bunch of links, and I deep dove one night and had too much to drink. And then a couple of days later, I ended up with a 5-gallon Fluval Flex on my doorstep that I don't remember ordering. And then I was just like, well, if I've got this, I might as well get started. And so that was my first tank, was that 5-gallon Fluval Flex with a betta fish and a bunch of I think I had Ember Tetras, live plants, like right off the bat, live plants, and just like fell in love with it. I just and haven't stopped. Tank syndrome came and went, and yeah.
Rob Olson's gave us a super chat, and he wants to know when are you guys going to be able to put a guppy animation across the screen when the sale happens in AquaFindr?
It's going to be a bit. Right now I'm working with primarily out of the box plugins and stuff like that, but soon, we'll have some sort of gratifying celebration animation whenever you sell something. But I did see I saw your accounts get created. I've got to get in there and get your upgrade going. Rob and I have been chatting today quite a bit, because I've got I have a swap tomorrow for my local fish club, and so I've been making hats and bags and all that for that show, because I'm going there as AquaFindr this time, not as like Greg. And he has a swap in Minnesota on Sunday, and he's like, hey, I'd love to represent AquaFindr there as well. And I was like, sure. And so we worked out some like very fast turnaround print jobs, so we can get a little bit of AquaFindr there at that swap as well. So it's gonna be it's taken off, man. I'm really pleased with the acceptance in the community, and things are going well.
Well, since you brought up AquaFindrs, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about what your project is, what it is that you're doing, and what's the reason behind AquaFindrs, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so AquaFindr came out of frustration for me as a hobbyist, right? And I'm always listening to problems and listening to conversations around me. And what ended up happening is I'd be looking for like my fish, like my first fish, and not know where to go, right? And I would talk to other people in the hobby, and they're like, well, you can try eBay, you can try Aquabid, you can try Facebook Marketplace, you could try r/AquaSwap, like you could try all of those things. And then, maybe you'll be able to find what you're looking for. And so like just not having a single place for a community was tough for me getting into the hobby and just getting started. And then I started doing the hobby well, right? Like my plants were thriving, my fish were thriving. And then it's like, well, how do I pass this stuff on outside of my like local club, right? So my local club, like we do auctions every month, like we do all of that. So it's fine to just bring that stuff, but it gets a little incestuous, right? Like somebody has a boom on shell dwellers, And then that's all the club does for a month, right? Is shell dwellers. And then somebody brings in marble angelfish, and then like what was on this screen, and then all you have is people interested in marble angelfish. But it always kind of goes through this cycle. And ultimately, I got to the point where I was like, there's gotta be a better way for this. And so I was like, what are the aquatic platforms? Like, where is like the hub of aquatics? And I kept getting steered to eBay and AquaBid. And
I was gonna say.
And so then the nail in the coffin. Well, I guess there's like two nails in this coffin. The first was I was selling two Fluval 407 filters on eBay. I had a local fish, like a chain store, shut down their branch in my area, and so I bought a ton of equipment just at extreme discount, like 70% discount, and I was just reselling that to help fund the initial go at this platform. And I was like, okay, I'll just put a bunch of this on eBay. I don't have my platform up yet. I'll just put it on eBay. Dude, I ended up losing like 20% of my sale to eBay. And I was like, this is the worst. And so then that kind of started like in the back of my head, like just like percolating. And then what happened was eBay worldwide said, we're not doing livestock anymore.
Oh, okay.
And then like there was an outrage, right, in the US, of course, and they reversed that decision in the US, but they didn't reverse that decision in most other countries. And so there's this hole in the aquatics market. And at that point, I was like, you know what? Seems like this is going to be something that I need to do, something that I need to, you know, try to help the hobby with.
Now, I was going to ask you, when you were saying you lost sales to eBay, was that because the customers didn't pay, or eBay lost the money? What was the issue?
Oh, it was the loss of profit more than anything. Like it was, I sold, like those things sell, they're expensive. I sold them for like $200, I think, and paid eBay like $40 in fees. Like it was like outside of shipping, like it was just like $40 in fees. And I was like, you can't support your own hobby taking a hit like that on your profits. And so that was kind of the inciting incident there.
Yeah. Well, I know you mentioned eBay and AquaBid, and this is where I wanted to ask you, how different is AquaFindr's to AquaBid? Because I think most us hobbyists are very familiar with AquaBid and how it operated. This is what I would hear. The comment is, it was a great place to find good fish at a good price. Horrible platform, antiquated, yes, difficult to navigate. All the problems that go along with it. Pictures weren't very good. All that stuff. How are you going to set yourself apart from, say, an AquaBid?
Yeah, so AquaBid is, well, I feel like AquaBid is fairly easy because like just being a modern platform is going to bring a lot of benefit, right? Like it's a mobile platform, it's a desktop platform. There's everything in between, so it's very modern. That makes it fairly easy. The more difficult thing is actually the relationship between the vendor and the buyer. So that is a much bigger difference between AquaBid and AquaFindr than the updated platform and graphics and UI and all of that. We don't do auctions yet. We will be, but we don't have that yet. So it's just set price. But when you go on AquaBid or you go on r/AquaSwap, all the platform does is facilitate the relationship between the buyer and the seller. The buyer directly pays the seller, and there's no mediation for something if it goes south, right? It's just, you're just done. All of that has to be worked out directly between the buyer and the seller. including sending like your shipping information, like all of that goes back and forth. So I wanted to take care of that, but I also wanted AquaFindr to remain relatively neutral in those relationships. So a seller on AquaFindr can list anything aquatic, and a buyer can buy anything from any vendor and just check out like it was eBay. So the relationship is handled. The payment doesn't go directly from the seller to the buyer. It goes to PayPal first, and I'm only using PayPal right now. I'm using PayPal Marketplace, and the reason is because the payment goes to PayPal, and then it gets split between the platform and the vendor. So the vendor gets like between 93 and 90% of the sale, depending on what plan you're on at AquaFindr, and the platform takes the rest. So there's no like payout from the platform. Like you don't have to wait for funds to be available and then you actually click a button and it gets deposited into your account. All of that is instantaneous, but it still allows for the platform to take a little bit for each transaction. So part of the problem that AquaBid ran into, this is just like from the outside, like looking at the trajectory of AquaBid, is that if you look closely, they recommend you paying AquaBid 3% of the sale as just a thank you for facilitating this, this purchase. It's just not sustainable. And so part of going into this was making sure that vendors have their money immediately, but also that the platform is taken care of, so that it can continue running.
Now, one of the things that is the platform, I guess, is it for anybody in the industry to be able to sell their product there, or are you trying to make it so it's more competitive for home breeders, or is there a difference in that?
Yep. So one of the issues with AquaBid is that a more established breeder would just go in and just create a ton of listings and just flood AquaBid with their stuff. You can't do that on AquaFindr because there's a listing limit. So you can only have like 20 or 30 listings. I should know this, right? You can only have like 20 or 30 listings live at the same time. And so I'm trying to prevent somebody that is well established from just like taking over the platform and using it as their store, right? At some point, a breeder like Dean with Aquarium, affiliated with Aquarium Co-op, Dan's Fish, like those types of breeders are going to have their own ways of getting their fish out into the world.
Yeah, but that's not going to stop them from wanting to take advantage of that market. It's all about being able to get access to resources. Because my thing is this going to prevent, like, for the sake of argument, somebody like AquaFindr, who's a wholesaler, to be able to come onto this website and sell their products there also besides their own websites? Is that something that like a breeder like you and I are going to have to compete with? Or is it going to kind of say, yeah, no, we're going to try to keep this for the smaller breeders, the 1-2s or whatever, or it doesn't matter?
I think, and if we run into this problem, I can solve it. But I think the listing limit and the manual process of having to list products in multiple places will keep most like large breeders out of AquaFindr, because it's not automatic. You're going to have to keep inventory in multiple places, and even talking with multiple smaller breeders that run their own websites, they don't want to go on AquaFindr because then they have to have their stock managed in multiple places. And I'm not really interested in solving that problem, like having like a direct connection so that AquaFindr can just post in one place and have it show in both places. I'm I'm more interested on the hobby side, hobby breeders, just casual aquarists being able to sell their extra stuff. So I'm not necessarily going to prevent it yet.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I don't think there's as much value there for like Aquahuna, who has their own like really well established brand in the industry, to then also sell their stuff on AquaFindr.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess as a small time breeder, it would almost be very difficult to compete like somebody with like Dan's Fish, especially these people that are importing stuff that they're bringing in imports. So that right off of the hand, it's going to be a lower price to begin with. Obviously, they're assuming more risk because there's going to be losses. There's the whole plus and the upside and downside of that. But I know when I first heard about this, what I understood that it was going to be geared more towards the smaller breeder that doesn't have access to a fish club or something, swaps, stuff like that is willing to ship product and still be able to have a place where they'll be able to sell stuff.
Yeah, and so that's one of the things that I'm trying to balance on the platform, right? Is the like visibility for like level playing field visibility, like limiting listings. And then the other side of that is enabling shipping, right? Like the education piece of like not gating that information and showing how to ship, how to like breeding. Information on breeding is all over the place, but it's actually a little difficult to find good information on shipping livestock. And so like people that are just getting started on AquaFindr, we have a whole like Discord community, like trying to help spread information on how to ship fish well. And so I kind of going back to the earlier question, this is very much for the hobbyist level breeder. It's trying to take the place of Aquabid and Aquaswap Facebook Marketplace, some of eBay. It's not going to be able to take over eBay though, because like you said, like importers they have a field day on eBay because the import margins are relatively low, and reselling them, those margins get pretty high.
Okay. Oh no, I got to pin it over here. I was going to. Sorry, I'm not.
We
I'm
had
not
a
ignoring this
question
because I saw they post the
about
website.
shipping discounts. So the way shipping works on AquaFindr, I'm fairly pleased with. So it's integrated with Shippo. So automatically, right out of the gate, you get commercial shipping rates. So like for me to ship a 1.3 or 1.4 pound package, 2-day shipping across the United States with like a betta fish in it is like $12. It's really not bad, and it scales really well. So you're using my commercial rates for shipping. You don't have to have like your own account, right? So like we're using buying power of Shippo to get better rates.
Okay. So because I was going to say that's always been one of the limiting factors for a lot of home breeders is when it comes to the shipping side of it, because you got to pay the full retail price. And I know there's like third party providers out there that'll give you that discount rate. And I was curious if you're going to incorporate that to the website, but you just answered that. So yeah,
like the way that I'm handling shipping is that I want you to be able to do shipping the way that you want to do shipping, right? So if you want to do flat rate shipping and everything is just $15, do it. Like you can do that. If you want to have a different shipping price for each product, you can do that. If you want to do like live rates and virtual packing, you can do that on AquaFindr. So like with all of my stuff that I sell on there, you as the buyer are choosing the shipping rate. So it's super transparent, and you can add like it costs me like $3 of shipping material in addition to the cost of the label. you can do that on the platform. And so my customer, so I run AquaFindr, but I also have like an AquaFindr storefront on the platform, because eat your own dog food, eat your own fish food, whatever. And my customers can just see exactly what they're going to pay down to the penny on shipping, and they can just choose. It's like, well, 3-day is probably okay for this fish. Like, maybe they know that, maybe they don't. As a seller, I can always choose to purchase a higher quality label if I want to, from a customer service perspective. I can also say I'm not going to offer UPS ground. Like, I can just say I'm only going to offer next day shipping or 2 days shipping. So you can put those constraints on. We have one vendor.
As a vendor.
Yes, we have a vendor on there called Koi Boys that sell koi locally, and they're starting to like branch out to like nationwide sales and shipping. One of the strategies that they're thinking of implementing is to actually reduce the shipping cost by like $20. So you ship a koi, right? It's like you're shipping a $400 fish, and it's going to cost you $75 to $125 to ship. But you can make it look like shipping is cheaper by just reducing the rate that comes back from the integration. And so some of that would be eaten up by the profit of the product, and some of it would be actually the some of them would be offset by the product, and the other paid by the customer. So you can decide how you want to split that rate up. $70 shipping, 10 tiger Oscars to California. Not bad.
Now, the other thing that I'm curious, and this is something that that can potentially be a problem. I know that vendors that have experience, not so much, but is it going to be the vendor's responsibility to know where and what they can ship to a certain place? Because there are some restrictions across states.
So from a legal perspective, AquaFindr does not provide that level of specificity to say you can't ship a koi to Maine, for instance, because you can't ship a koi to Maine. That's up for the vendor to know, or that's up for the buyer to know. There's a few things legally and financially that I've chosen to remain neutral on, to remove the risk of running a platform like this, and that's one of them.
Okay, but you won't be able to list stuff that we know that it's like an arowana, for say, in California and in the United States. You're not going to be able to list that on the website, or that's up to the discretion of the vendor and the buyer?
That's up to the vendor and the buyer.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm not really, my stance is anything aquatic, which also includes like 3D prints and artwork and like clothing and all, like anything aquatic. And I'm trying to remain neutral on the legal aspects of what is being buy and sold. Because then I'm hoping to avoid the issue that eBay has had with like what is allowed and not allowed on the platform. So I'm trying to be broad, but trying to remove like the platform risk to selling that. So that would, like, that risk would be passed on to the vendor. If like a legal battle came up and they were like, hey, you can't be shipping this stuff, I can just look at my terms and conditions and pass that on to the vendor.
Yeah. And just one more fish, Jesse. Yeah, I meant Asian arowana. That's really what I was, because we all know they're not allowed in the United States, but people.
I have people ask me all the time if I have connections for like African land snails. I'm like, no.
African land snails.
Yeah.
Don't these things get like really, really big?
Yeah, it's like, no, not gonna do that.
Yeah, no, that's why I was, and I know like in California, one of the big gripes is that they don't allow them to have stingrays, and so there's just different little things. Plants are probably the most common thing that you'll find, where certain states are like, nope, you'll go to jail for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like a lot of that stuff I agree with, right? And some of it I don't. Like, should you own a stingray if you don't have like a huge like square bottom tank?
Yeah.
Probably not. But if you do have that and can accommodate it, maybe you can, or a big pond or a pool or whatever. But it's a mess.
But I saw a YouTuber put one in a 20-gallon and just put Prime in it, and it was okay.
I bet you did.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a temporary situation, but still, nonetheless, it was just like,
Yeah, that fish can't even like turn around. Like,
it was a small one, but still, it's just there's just certain things that there's other. Dude, get a 60-gallon tote and put it in there. You're better off than in a 20-gallon.
Yeah,
but
everybody loves that Top View Stingray.
And so what is the other thing I wanted to ask, as a vendor, is there a fee to be able to vend on this platform, or is it just a percentage of sales?
Let me walk through the fee structure. So right now, if you sign up as a vendor, there is no fee to list. There's no cap on sales, so you can have a single listing and sell it thousands of times. There's no limit there. The platform commission is 10% right now. And so eBay is like between 15 and 20, and depending on what category you're selling in. So this is 10%. You may get hit with another 3 from PayPal because of the way that I've set up PayPal. The vendor would be paying the transaction cost. Like if the customer pays with a debit card or a credit card, you'd pay that 3% there. But there's no fee to be a vendor on AquaFindr. It's just a platform commission rate. In addition to that, well, not in addition to that, like we're not charging you more. But if you start selling a bunch and you want to subscribe to the platform, you can pay a subscription price and buy down that commission rate. So if you were selling a bunch and you were like, okay, I'm just going to support the platform directly and pay $5 a month, $10 a month, $20 a month, you could buy that commission rate down 8% to 8%, 6%, 5%. I don't see it going much below 5%, but you can reduce that rate by purchasing subscriptions, which I haven't implemented yet, but will be implemented when we actually have enough customers to start actually making that valuable.
Now, I know, I think you already mentioned this, but any disputes as far as dead arrivals, that's all policy of the vendor, however they deal with that, right?
Yeah, they set their own shipping policies, their own DOA policies, their own store policies. Yeah, they set all of that. So I do have boilerplate in our help documentation and all that you could just copy and paste and have a basic version of it. But the idea there is to de-risk the platform, because the worst thing that would happen is to have a bad actor come in, have a bunch of legal disputes, and the whole platform goes down for the entire community. And I would rather offload that risk to a specific bad actor.
Yeah, and obviously there's stipulation in there that will get you banned if you do stuff that's not on the up and up.
Yep. So what we're going to be implementing, I don't have it yet. Right now we have reviews, right? So you can give negative reviews, positive reviews, whatever. Eventually there's going to be a strike system, which is anybody can report things, and then some things I'm going to look at and be like, no, strike one. That is just not cool for the industry, for the hobby. That's not putting the hobby first, that sort of thing. And then I don't know if you saw The Long Walk, the recent Stephen King movie.
No,
or
I haven't yet.
Book. Well, there's a strike system in there where they have to walk until there's only one remaining walker. And if you pause, you get a warning. And then if you pause 3 times within an hour, they just kill you. And so I kind of want a strike system like that, where you get a strike and it will roll off after 30 days. But if you get a bunch of strikes in a row, you're just done. You're not doing well. You're not doing the hobby well. You're not doing right by your customers. You're not doing right by your aquatic life. You just need to be done on the platform.
Got it. Now, as far as do you mind kind of just I'm gonna bring up your website and just kind of walk us through, you know, the thought process behind the layout and how to be able to as a consumer to make it easier to find stuff.
Yeah. And I'll just preface that with it's always changing.
Okay.
So yeah. First up here at the top, like right away, branding, colors, that's my blue, right?
Okay.
And then the affiliate rewards program, anyone can join that. And so what that is if you post your affiliate link anywhere and somebody follows it and they make a purchase, you get 3% of that sale. And so I haven't figured out like what the cap is and when I actually will do payouts, but it's all tracked right now. And so you'll get all of that. Ideally, everything. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, just looking at this, then it's not necessarily automatically separated by categories. What is this? The most recent post, or is it the most popular post that?
Yeah. So naturally, it's just sorted by the latest post.
Okay.
I wanted to allow for newcomers to the site to get instant exposure. But then also you can change that sort by latest at the top right. You can change that to most popular. And it'll shift and you'll see my listing, which is the most popular. Because I've been selling Benefish live on TikTok for a couple months now.
So it'll be relatively easy.
Yep. So that gives you another.
I thought it was just default.
Another way. Yep. So then you can also do highest to lowest, lowest to highest. Another way, if you look at my listing, those first two listings, they both have like the sponsored tag on them.
Yes.
As a vendor, you can pay the platform $2 to make a listing sponsored for 30 days. And so if you've got something that you want to have higher priority, you can just pay. It's another way to just kind of help support the platform, let people get some additional visibility. It's not super valuable right now because we have limited numbers of customers hitting the website. But eventually it's going to be really valuable for new customers on the platform.
Does this allow you to see how many vendors you have on the site or no?
Yeah. So if you go to stores, if you click stores at the top there.
Oh, okay.
I think we've got like 40. Okay. So 52 active vendors.
Right there.
So vendors with listings. We have about 120 or so that haven't completed the entire registration process. And I reach out to them all the time to figure out why. I don't know what they were expecting setting up like an e-commerce store. It's very straightforward to set up a vendor account. It's just like, I think people get busy and they forget.
Oh, okay. Well, this is great because we all have a friend in the community, Inside Out Aquatics, who's selling, I guess, hobby related items that are not necessarily fish products. You know, the fish room punks. I don't know if you've.
Oh yeah.
This would be a great place to advertise that.
Yeah, click on Lady Astrid's store there. I think you have to click the profile because I haven't fixed the actual link yet. So if you scroll down, this is her whole store, and it shows all of her products. So you can see she's selling food, she's doing ship testing, she's got pins on here as well that you can purchase. So I have a number of vendors that don't have their own online store, and on their business card they have their AquaFindr store link, or they have a QR code that goes straight to their AquaFindr store. So they don't need to create their own website to sell stuff. Their website can just link to AquaFindr. And eventually we'll have something where like you could embed your AquaFindr store on your own website. We're not there yet, but eventually, like, I do want to be able to do that.
Oh, that's interesting. No, this is I know since the announcement that at least the video that I saw, because like I said, like we were discussing earlier, I couldn't remember where exactly was it that I kind of came across that short, I guess you want to call it, where you were announcing the the launching of AquaFinders. But as you were mentioning earlier, you don't really have a big presence yet on YouTube. Right now, mostly, where are your sources where you predominantly people can find you, or other than the website?
Yeah, so predominantly I post on TikTok. And there's a reason for that. It's yup. And then I will cross post to like Instagram and Facebook. And Threads. So cross posting that direction. Primarily I'm on TikTok. And the reason kind of goes back to like, how do you build a platform like this, which we should definitely talk about. But largely TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Threads. But I am working on figuring out how to multi-stream and cross post into YouTube, make that easier. So you did. Could you pull up the website again? Sorry. Mm-hmm. There's two other things that I want to touch on. Ravioli, you're killing me, dude. He's just like whistling to my feet.
I see that you have a section for articles, which is interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
So are these? Oh yeah, the vendors.
Oh, I'm not seeing your screen yet.
Oh, okay. I took it off. Sorry, I forgot.
Sorry about that.
I've done I've done live streams where I'm talking about something the entire live stream and I don't share the screen. so this is not new.
As someone who does like product demos for a living, like that's all that happens to me. That's all that happens. Looks like you dropped into mobile view somehow.
Yeah, I would keep clicking buttons and let me get out of here and open it again. I'm terrible. No,
I'm in tech and I still can't do this stuff. Like,
oh wait, dude, it's easier if I just click the link down here. Where did I see it? It should be at the top. I'm being lazy. I'll just type it.
It's like 8 letters, right? It's not too bad.
Yeah. No, I was just really being lazy. That's all I was doing.
I'd rather do this, scroll to find something.
Yeah. You don't even have to. It's to the point now where I could just put the first 3 letters and it automatically brings it up in the suggestion box.
Yeah, I love that.
Hello, beautiful. How you doing? Paul Eldam is here in the chat. Yes. Oh, that's where the cards came in. Let's see. What am I doing? Here it is. I'm trying to multitask and I'm terrible at it. Here we go. Back to
we did it.
All awesome. Right.
So
we got there 3 days later, but we got there.
Articles are all guest posts. Like I've written a few articles, but my goal is to get people in the community to be posting here, and they can't directly post. It all has to go through me. But I'm not interested in like spec sheets for a fish. Right. Oh, okay. I'm interested in what your personal experience is in the hobby with whatever topic you want to write about. And I don't want it to be something that can just be written by ChatGPT. I really want like your personal approach to whatever you want to talk about. Okay. And so we've got like some snail posting. I've got a bunch of early articles about like some I guess embarrassing stuff at this point about how I thought AquaFindr was going to go. But like it's much more about personal experience in the hobby than it is about like the cold facts, like what you could just learn through Googling. So I wanted to kind of break out the curiosity of this hobby.
Oh, okay. Now, here's the other question that I have on this, because do you have to be a vendor to be able to post articles on here, or can you be just a consumer who happens to have a topic that they want to discuss?
Yep, you could be anyone. A lot of these folks, actually, like Keon at the top is not a vendor. I've got another one coming from Mimic Betas pretty soon that is about photography, like aquatic photography. That they are not a vendor. They have their own storefront on their own website, but they're going to do an article about fish photography. At the time, Jacob Thompson posted top 5 fish and plants for new aquarium. He was not a vendor. Now he has set up a store, so I can't say that anymore. But he wasn't a vendor at the time. Yeah, so it's much more for just hearing from experience in the hobby. Like, again, trying to get away from gatekeeping, just trying to get information out there from reputable sources that are passionate about the things that they're talking about. I have had a number of people just like submit articles to me that were like obviously just like copy and paste from ChatGPT, and I was like, this isn't what we're looking for.
Now and then, how do you? This is like a slippery slope too, though, because one thing that I've learned in the short time that I've been doing this, back in the hobby, is that some topics are very polarizing, and then not only that, but you have some people that are like, it's either this way or it's the highway. And I mean, are you going to be able to control that, or that's just freedom of speech, and you can post as long as you're not offending anybody? You can try to persuade people to your way of thinking. Is that kind of what's going on with the articles, or you'll have a little bit more control of what goes on there?
Getting started, I have complete control because I don't answer to anyone right now, right? So I like, it's, if I don't agree with it, we're just probably not going to post it. But I do have a whole style guide for writing for AquaFindr, and it is designed to depolarize conversations. So, like cycling a tank, for instance. Like, what are the things that you need to know about cycling to do cycling in a manageable and respectful way to aquatic life? There's many ways to do it and not kill things.
Yeah.
And just because you have a hard stance that you have to do it fishless, or the best way is with fish, that doesn't mean anything. And so my goal is to like fetter out curiosity in the hobby and not be taking hardline, stances on ideally anything. I say that there are some hardline stances that we're just not going to go there. But to me, the hobby is so diverse and it's so detailed and so interesting. Like, if you're taking a hard stance on almost anything, like, you're not really a curious person. Like, let's talk about this in a way that you can have a conversation about it and like think through, the why is this thing polarizing? Like, it's polarizing because people are choosing one side or the other and not discussing the commonality and like what's actually at the root of these things, which is setting up a good habitat for your aquatic life. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops.
Now, I didn't see on the comments, but on the articles, there is no posting comments or anything like that, right? It's just an article. You could read it and do with it what you want, right? I mean, well, why am I?
I think there is comments.
Let me see.
I can't definitively say that because I don't remember.
Yeah, no, I said it's real easy to figure out. I'll just open up the article and see if there's a section for.
I think you do have to be logged in.
Oh, comment. Okay.
So you can't. We get a lot of spam. So I delete a lot of spam before it hits the site. And then comments do have to be approved. It's just you can't just comment something and expect it to show up immediately. It may show up for you because that's how the platform works. But
yeah,
if you're going to be hateful and ridiculous, then I'm just not going to approve the comment.
I did it again, huh? I was looking at it. I was talking about opening up the.
No, if you scroll down, I think you can actually.
I was looking at it. I was looking at what you were saying that, but I think it is. I'm not logged in, so it's not going to show that to me. I don't even think I can post a comment or do anything else other than just look at it because I'm not logged in.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. So the other thing we should talk about is categories. So right now, I've got it broken down by kind of interest area. But I'm
Okay.
trying not to get too granular because the platform is still relatively small in its number of listings. So if you go over to like freshwater fish, like you'll see like some main categories of freshwater fish,
Yeah,
but
I
it's
saw that.
not
Like
broken down. Like I don't have a category for apistogramma yet, right? Because we don't have enough apistogramma to have a category for it.
Oh, okay.
It's just
got
under
subcategories.
cichlids.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
got
under
subcategories.
cichlids. Goldfish and
Okay.
koi are together. Gouramis and bettas are separate, but that could be combined into labyrinth breeders. I have all the live bearers in one category. So it'll be like it'll work itself out. As we need more categories, I'll build more categories. But for now, I think we're looking fairly good. We have, I think, for most categories, we have at least one product.
Yeah.
Not on the saltwater side. If you go into the saltwater side, there's nothing yet, but there will be eventually.
Okay.
But the other thing is like there's a bunch of like really good online places to get saltwater stuff.
Oh, okay.
You don't have that for freshwater, you know. So, but you know, we'll get there.
Now, I don't see a what would be the category for like plant or supplies? Is that where you would find plants? Oh,
Plants would be under freshwater life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there.
So what you're doing at the very beginning is saying whether you're interested in freshwater or saltwater, and then you get into those categories that way.
Well, my problem was that I'm so accustomed to it's either freshwater fish, freshwater salt, and didn't even bother looking at the fact that it says freshwater life.
Took me a long time to realize that I could just say life.
Yeah.
But then you've also got inverts in there as well. Freshwater inverts, saltwater inverts. Like we've got, plenty of stuff going on. And inverts is just one category right now. But eventually it'll be shrimp versus snails. Then it'll be neocardinia versus cardina shrimp. Then, you know, we'll have a bunch of different, different areas. We have so many snails listed on AquaFindr. It's crazy. And what happened is part of how this thing got built is I went like micro pocket to micro pocket and got vendors. The first group of vendors on AquaFindr was snail keepers because they were the most interested in like getting over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nothing in pond plants yet, just because I haven't listed any of my pond plants.
Yeah, I recently started getting into this because I'm doing like little mini ponds and outdoor little small structure ponds. So
yeah, so anything there's someone selling like monstera cuttings, and what's the other pothos cuttings? Like all of that would be in plants. In like marginal plants, and eventually we'll probably have like an aquarium fed houseplant category because you can basically grow anything out of an aquarium. Supplies, yeah, that's like food, hardscape, stuff like that.
Yeah, a good friend of mine, he's selling food. Oh, you got live foods.
I would love live foods to take off. I know Jacob Thompson has a bunch. He's working on a lot of like Daphne and stuff like that. Get that stuff listed.
In my tanks has got isopods too, so that would be something interesting that he could add to this.
Absolutely. I was just listening to that podcast episode actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, about the about his I think it was it might have been phytoplankton.
Mm-hmm. But the one last night was about breeding a mono shrimp. But yeah, they were talking about the different types of foods, the live foods and high protein foods and all that stuff. I thought it was pretty. I was actually just texting with him, telling him that I really enjoyed that live stream, and I think really what helped is the fact that the young lady that was on there is very good at being providing the information, but also kind of not being dry. You know, that's you usually have people with a lot of information, but are just, you know, they don't have
info dump. Yep.
Yeah. Or, you know, they don't have any personality, to be honest, you know, and she had a both. She had the knowledge and she had the personality, which made it very easy to listen and understand. And I thought it's one of the better live streams that I've seen in a long time, as far as information that was provided and how it was how it was delivered. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we got a question from Jeff, Empire of Dirt. Can I post fish that are growing out at a quantity of 0 prior to them being available? You can, and it's going to show up as out of stock. Or what we have a bunch of vendors doing is they'll list items for pre-sale. Like they will say, this, like, you can pre-order snails or pre-order guppies, and then when they're available, they'll ship. So that is like just another way to do it. If you know, like, you've already had a spawn and you're in the process of growing them out, and you know they're going to grow out, and it's relatively low risk for you, pre-order. Like, you could do pre-orders all day.
All right. Let me see. Just make sure that there isn't anything else that we haven't talked about on your website. Now, and obviously this is up and running. What was the launch date for this?
So that kind of gets to like how big of a problem this was, like trying to launch everything. It officially went live in March.
Okay.
And had 150 listings like a month ago. So it took a long time. To get it spun up, and that's the chicken and egg problem. Of, do you attract vendors, do you expand the brand, or do you attract customers? Because you can't do all of them at once. It's chicken and egg.
Okay, so this is where people can get an idea how to resolve issues and stuff like that, which is good.
Yeah, it's super straightforward. Like, the dispute resolution is just try to work it out amongst yourselves, and if you can't, get me involved.
Yeah, I like how easy it really is to navigate the website. It's pretty straightforward. It's easy to understand. So yeah, I'm really hoping that this really does take off, because I know the Get Gills was another one that they used to use, but that went away because Dan opened up his own business. So having to compete not to compete, but keeping up with the website and trying to do the warehouse, that really quickly became overwhelming. So but and then,
one of the benefits of me doing this is that I don't have a store, right? I'm not trying to do this on the side. I mean, I guess I am, because I have a full-time job, but like, this is my aquatic focus right now. Like, I'm not breeding fish. I'm selling fish so that I can afford some marketing, but like, I'm not, like, that's not my passion. My passion right now is solving this problem for the aquatics hobby. And so I can sink everything into that. I'm not split, like, trying to grow profits of my business and like trying to grow this marketplace on the side. It's just exactly what it's my primary focus.
Okay. One of the questions is, do you have to prepay to be on a pre-order?
Yeah. So you would be getting prepayment from as a customer commitment. So that would be happening immediately. And then will AquaFindr be international? So yes, it will be international, but you won't be able to sell across nation borders. Eventually, maybe you can, but right out of the gate, no. It's just not. It's not something that most people are equipped to do, and that most people even understand about the importing and export issues across borders. It's hard enough in the United States to go state to state, and shipping to another country is just brutal. The next the next area that's going to open up from an international perspective is going to be the UK. They have a real need for something like AquaFindr, because, like I said before, eBay didn't reinstate like livestock selling in the UK. They don't have a marketplace platform right now. And so that's the next step, hopefully in the next month or so, being available in the UK.
So
Largely over there. Sorry, go ahead.
if you only people in the UK will be able to buy from people in the UK. That's the way it's currently set up.
And that's another way that I'm mitigating risk as well,
Mhm.
because by doing UK to UK, I don't have to pay VAT tax. I don't have to register as a UK business. Like, I don't have to do any of that because it's UK sales to UK customer.
Okay.
So it will, like, in a sense, it will be international, but selling across borders is something that's probably not going to be available. Shipping.
Yeah, that's I guess Jeff was. I don't know if he's referring to the site itself, or okay.
Yeah, he's referring to getting shipping set up on the platform. That's the most complicated piece. Everything else is like fill in a blank, check a box, create this account. Like, all that's easy. But then shipping comes along, and you're like, well, what? How do I do this? Like, it's just like, shipping is tough. The thing that I can say is, you either know how you want to ship and know how it's going to be set up, or you should just reach out to me and let me help you set up shipping.
Okay.
Because we had an order today from one of the vendors, 802 Aquatic. He's up in Vermont. Went through without a shipping charge to the customer. And so I reached out to him, and I saw this thing came through because it came through as a side order on one of my customers buying a betta fish. They also bought Java moss from him. But no shipping charges came through for him. And I was like, hey, can I help you? Can I help you get your shipping set up? And so it helped getting, got his shipping set up. He wanted to do flat rate shipping, like true flat rate. And so everything that he ships is like $10 shipping. And so we got that set up, everything good to go. But it was just it took a bit. But I mean, I'm here to help. And here to help solve whatever problems I can. Jeff, definitely just reach out to me. Like, I'll help you get it set up if you're. I think you might be set up now at this point. But yeah.
I don't know, David. Is there something they're trying to tell you there, buddy? Or maybe it's trying to tell me. I don't know. No. Okay. This is what I wanted to do. I typically. I'm very terrible. I mean, with the chat, but I know there's a lot of breeders in the chat. If you guys have any questions for Greg, feel free to drop them in. I'm going to start paying attention now. If you have any questions that maybe I haven't asked or I haven't gotten questions, let's see. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, we can start here. Easy.
Yep.
So you can check out from as many vendors as you want at the same time. Every vendor is going to have their own shipping charges applied to your cart when you go to checkout. And so some of them might be flat rate. Some of them might be free shipping. Some of them, like if you order from my shop, you have a live rate that you have to choose unless you spend over $40, in which case you get free shipping. So all of that is calculated vendor by vendor. And then the customer checks out. All that money goes to PayPal and it gets dispersed properly. So as a vendor, you get the full amount of the sale price minus your platform fee, and you get all of the shipping and tax if you were charging tax. You get all of that, and it just happens instantaneously. Okay. So that one's fairly easy.
And then Jesse from Just One More Fish is saying that he definitely needs to reach out because he's a little bit confused on the shipping.
Yeah, do it. Reach out, hit me up.
Okay, and that's what I was going to ask you. What's the best way for vendors that have questions? Is it your email or is it Discord? What's the one that you prefer people reach out to you on?
Right now, it doesn't matter. Like, if you comment to me if you like go through the YouTube's chat, their like DM thing, like I'll get it. TikTok is easy. Discord is great because everything's kind of in one place. You can also email me at support@aquafindr.com. Super helpful. You did a bad thing by including shipping on your sale price. No, I don't think so at all, actually. That's a perfectly valid strategy. You can include it there. And even if you did include it in your sales price, you can still use the live shipping plugin to generate your shipping label and then you can just send it to your printer. So you don't have to use a separate platform. You can put in your dimension and all that and be able to ship it out of there. Oh, appreciate you posting the Discord link there, Jeff.
Yeah, they've been posting the links here. Well, for those of you that might be new to the way I do the chats, the reason everybody gets a wrench is not because I'm expecting you guys to do any kind of work, but there is an upside because then it allows anybody to post links and stuff like that without, if you hear something that you like Jeff right now. The other thing is, it's also to kind of create community, because if somebody's new to the chat, it allows them to click on the person's highlighted name, and it'll give you the option to go to their channel. And that's how I've been able to meet a lot of people, is just by having that access. So, and again, this is not anything that I'm not that smart to figure that out. I got this from Father Fish because he does that in all his live streams. And I thought that was a wonderful idea. And I said, you know what, I need to incorporate that. And so far it's been working out really good. It gives, there's the one thing that frustrates me the most is being in a chat and not being able to see a new name and go check out their channel, because although not everybody necessarily has a content channel, there's a lot of smaller channels that are out there. And I like to go check them out. So it's a way to, I still have a wrench. Most has been taken away.
Ooh,
I wonder why, Mike.
Maybe that needs to be removed. I do want to go, Jorge, I do want to go back to the conversation we had right before we started streaming.
Okay.
Where you unceremoniously just like cut me off and was like, we're going to start streaming because I don't want to miss this. And I don't want to miss it. So let's go back
to that. I was basically asking you, where was the idea of creating this? Where did it start? So,
yeah, absolutely. We haven't actually talked about that part on the live stream, did we? Well, we talked about my buddy that tricked me into buying a fish tank while I was inebriated. So I've heard Corey McElroy with Aquarium Co-op talk a bunch about needing a marketplace like this. Oh, the t-shirts might ship internationally. I don't know.
Yeah,
they might. I don't know. That one's, I'm just doing a fulfillment center, so that one might ship internationally. I don't know. And the complication of growing a marketplace is that you're trying to do three things at the same time. So you're trying to raise brand awareness, which is just straight marketing, right? Like just getting the brand out there, making connections. And then you need to attract customers so that your vendors are happy. And in order to have customers, you need vendors so that your customers are happy, right? And so like it's this chicken and egg thing. You need products to sell before you can actually sell them to people, right? You have to have both things. And the problem is you can't grow both at the same time. So I needed to find a way to attract vendors, to get them to list products, knowing that they weren't going to make any sales until we hit a certain threshold to where we would start attracting customers and start doing what you and I are doing right now and start getting the word out. So that started on TikTok, where I started a campaign just talking about the platform, what I wanted to do, a bunch of the problems, my personal experience, and then putting it out there to vendors and saying, hey, if you will join AquaFindr early, knowing you're not going to get any sales, I will give you a fantastic commission rate till the end of time. For as long as the platform exists, I'll give you a fantastic, their commission rate for founding vendors is like 3%. Like it's stupid low. Like you can't make a profit on that. But it got it got 52 active vendors to list products. And so my call to action at the very beginning was we need vendors, but more important than vendors, we need listings. Like we need to hit 150 listings because this hobby is broad. And in order to make it look like this marketplace is thriving, that a customer is going to put their trust in a purchase, you have to have a minimum number of products. And so I finger in the air, said 150 listings, and then we'll start like increasing the marketing and start actually doing customer acquisition. So from March till the beginning of September was vendor acquisition, getting vendors. So we have 52 active vendors right now, and we have about 120 that haven't completed the 120 total. Only 40% or so have fully completed the process of onboarding. It's not difficult. They're just not accepting my help to get them like finished onboarding. And so now we're at that point where we have like 189 or something listings, and we're actively trying to get customers to the platform, because now you can't be a founding vendor anymore. So now when you sign up, you get the 10% rate, which is still good. And you can still, like, as you make sales, you can buy that down. And so I appreciate that, Prodigal.
Well, that's one of the major reasons of being here, is also to bring awareness that you're out there and people can go out and subscribe. Now, that's misleading because your TikTok account has a lot more subscribers than your YouTube account.
Yeah, that thing that took off. And the best thing I did / worst thing I did with that account was making sure that I was actively selling on the platform as well. And so I've got the platform, and then I also have the AquaFindr store, and my TikTok is like 2,800 or so subscribers now, where it's easier to build on TikTok than it is YouTube. Yeah. But I sell beta live on TikTok. So a couple times a week, I'll go live for 2 to 3 hours selling betta fish out of my pond, because I made a ton of people unhappy by dumping like 400 betta into my 800-gallon pond so that they could grow out through the summer. And so now they're big enough to start selling. So that's what I'm doing. And I sell them live, but they have to go to AquaFindr to purchase. And so I'm using that traffic. They'll buy something else there. They will, and all of that money is going back to marketing. And so like pushing out this message, pushing out the brand, trying to attract more customers, and things like this, like, help a ton to get all, to get the word out there. I was going to say one other thing, but I don't remember what it is.
No, it'll come to you. David from Alfish Tanks is asking, how do you know when you've completed all the requirements when trying to sign up as a vendor?
Yeah, so when you sign up, you have an onboarding checklist, and there's 4 items that you need to set up. Yeah, sorry about that, 3G. Now there's multiple. So the first thing, you're going to set up your store profile. That's step 1. Super easy. It's just like name, email, location, but you don't need to put your street address in, just like something for shipping, right? Then you set up payments. Payments is you link your PayPal account, and what it's going to do is convert if it's a personal account, it's going to convert it to a business account, because that's the only type that'll work with PayPal Marketplace. So get that out of the way. It leads you through that. Takes just a couple minutes. The third step is shipping, which is where most people get hung up. Happy to help. There's a lot of options because I want it to be versatile. And then the last one is listing a product. So the 4th step doesn't even really count. It's really 3 steps. But once you have all 4 of those completed, the onboarding goes away, and you're just open and selling.
Okay. David Aquatics is asking, is the promotional rate still a thing?
The promotional rate is not a thing right now. It is. I feel like publicly I need to take a hard stance and say that rate is no longer available. I am considering going back to the founding vendor rate for a little bit, or like an extended thing where it's like, instead of being 3%, it's 5% now. And so maybe I'll do that. Like right now it's 10, but maybe I drop it to 5. We get a bunch more vendors in there. We keep moving. Then we increase it to all new vendors are 7 or 8 or whatever. I can do that. I can be persuaded to do that.
Okay. Now, the other thing that I really found interesting is when we were looking to that, and I know you've talked about that for the listings. I know within the community, I know of at least 2 people that do like T-shirts, hats, embroidery. They would be able to become vendors on the site. One of them would be Sleepy Barbecue, Grilled to Gills or something like that, Lance. And then there's Carr, who does a lot of our T-shirts, a lot of merch for us. And he's kind of doing the ship to order kind of thing where he prints it up for you and then sends it off. But I think that would be a great place for him to advertise what he's doing. And he also has his own T-shirts that he designs and stuff like that.
Yeah, my stance on that is anything aquatic. I have I think it's TNT Aquatics on TikTok that's selling their own merch as well. There's a category for it. If people want it, they'll buy it. My stance is just that it has to be aquatic related, and as tenuous as you need to make that connection, that's if you can convince me, fine. Like we have a lot of 3D prints and stuff on there. Like even something that's not even it's a 3D print of a flexi axolotl. It's like, well, okay, yeah, sure, that's fish related, right? Somebody's doing like a beta notebook. There's a beta coloring book that's going to be on there. It's fascinating, like what people are doing.
Yeah,
but yeah, anything that's tangentially related to aquatics is available. If you have a question about it, either just post it and I'll see it and be like, no, or you just ask me about it.
Yeah, Jeff wants to know if he's going to be able to sell Mome on the website.
Sell what?
Mome.
I don't even know what Mome is.
Oh, it's just the waste from the fish.
Oh, so you should. So here's like that stuff, like house plant people love that stuff. So like if you're not selling on AquaFindr,
water change water.
Well, what I was gonna
call
do,
it nitrite enriched water.
Right, it's fertilized water, right? That's what it is. I was gonna take like all the refuse out of my pond and just put it out in like tarps and stuff to let it dry, and then just sell the powder. Like, because it's just nitrate rich. Like, it's so great. Yeah, well, add your merch towel. I have a merch towel on there.
Yeah, I guess it's like you said, it's aquarium byproducts or something. It's funny how, the one thing that always fascinates me, and I used to think, why would people want to buy ramhorn snails? But it makes perfect sense for people that have puffers.
This tank has three humpback dragon puffers in it, and I go through snails like crazy. I've got these 2 tanks. I've got my sump. I've got a 800-gallon garden pond, and I've got my betta tub, and I've got 2 like live bearer tubs, and they all are just inundated with snails. And as soon as they get that big, they go in the puffer tank and they're just gone.
Yeah. I know there's also been people in the community that have written books that are aquatic related. That would probably be a good place to advertise them too. It's a target audience. I mean, that's exactly who you're trying to reach in the first place.
Yes. Target, captive, and homebodies.
Yep. Yeah. Well, going back to the initial conversation, did we ever cover that when I interrupted you halfway through the sentence?
Because I wanted to talk about the complexity of building vendors and customers at the same time.
No, okay.
So I think we got there.
Is there anything else that you want to mention that we still haven't been able to talk about?
Yes. So actually two things. One is
as many as you want.
There's gonna be I got my family texting me for dinner too. So
okay, yeah.
The one is Cares fish.
Okay.
So there is, I guess there's three things. I haven't added the category for cares because we like literally just got a listing for cares, but I do want to have a category for cares fish. The other is a rehoming category,
I saw
where
that.
it would be for like free fish that would just be like rehoming. You ship it, the fish is actually free. I just need to get rid of it. That happens all the time. So have something for like things that people wouldn't normally be buying at a club, like a full size Oscar, right? Like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do with that thing? And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is how AquaFindr is going to be giving back to local fish clubs.
Oh, okay.
So the way that this works is when you sign up for your account, you can choose a local aquarium club, and I have most of them listed on. I actually just fixed it earlier today because Rob wasn't able to find it because I had broken it. So it's refixed, and then you can choose as a vendor and as a customer your local fish club. And so when purchases happen, I know which clubs are active in those purchases. And so 10% of platform profits, once we actually become profitable, would be divided amongst local fish clubs based on their participation in the marketplace. So
Okay.
if you're very active, you're selling, you're breeding, and your club is active purchasing on the platform, like that's going to increase the amount of funding that your local club gets. It's not going to be a lot because it's divided up amongst a lot of clubs, but it's something. And I really wanted a way for local clubs that also do auctions to be able to get funding from a platform like this and be able to fully support a platform like this. Boy, the amount of eggnog in there.
Oh, it's because they're going after somebody that hates eggnog.
Man,
Fish, I guess.
I
There he is.
love eggnog. Oh man, eggnog's the best. Yes, I do plan. That's a good question from outside in. I do plan on that. It right now it's a little hard because it's like, hey, in the future you may get a bunch of kickback. But also I think it's valuable for clubs anyway. People are always looking for ways to branch out to make their hobby profitable. Not profitable is the wrong word. Like make their addiction sustainable might be a better way to put that. I get asked all the time about like where to sell and buy stuff and aquatic things, and that's just my answer now is AquaFindr. Where before it was like, I don't know, man, Craigslist.
Yeah, I don't know
just a mess.
I don't know what the funding.
A founding club promo. What would that be? What would that be? I don't even know. Maybe I send you like marketing materials for AquaFindr. Maybe you get a better take rate on the local club disbursement. I don't know.
The one thing that I want to mention, because you were talking about cares. I don't know if you know Ed Moats. Okay. He could be a very good resource for you when it comes to how you guys want to list the cares species.
I would love that.
He's a big proponent of that. There's quite a few guys in the hobby, but I personally know Ed well, as personally as I know you now, but because he's been a guest on my live streams. But yeah, and he's a big advocate of making sure that people are listing them correctly. If they have location sites that gets attached to that.
That's also really big in the killifish community. Is the actual location of these things, and like pygmy sunfish and like all that, like the actual collection location. So one of these days I do need to add like location information for collection as part of the listing.
Yeah, Mike is inviting you to watch the stream for next week, and that's because he's going to have Gary. No, who is it? Is it Gary Lang? No, it's not Gary Lang. It's Greg Sage. Mitch Broom, and Ed will be on there as guests. Right, they're going to be talking about the rare species and the CARES program and stuff like that. So
yeah, I love that. A guy in my club purchased a line of Apistogramma cacatoides from Greg Sage, and just won't stop talking about it. And I'm like, that's great, dude. That's also like my favorite fish. So like, and this tank, you can't even see this other tank. Like this tank is it's a 125 Angel tank with algae, and it has a group of 6 Apistogramma cacatoides. They're so much fun to watch. I love those things.
Yeah, well, I've taken up a lot of your time. I appreciate the fact that you came on here and sharing this information with us. I know you're going to get a big response from the people in the community, because I know a lot of the people here are also breeders, so they'll probably be reaching out to you, and just wishing you the best, man. I'm excited to see this take off, it's just, I wish you the best of luck, and
I appreciate it.
So, and if you have anything else that comes up later on, anything new that's going on that you want to be able to promote, feel free to reach out, and we'll come back again and have you on, and you can talk about whatever new project is going on.
I love it. This has been fantastic. I love seeing the chat. I recognize a bunch of names in here. That's fantastic. A bunch of you already have AquaFindr accounts. That's amazing. If you guys need anything, let me know. Like, I'm happy to jump in and help however I can, whether it's getting the word out, getting help set up, all of that. Like, I'm in. Hit me up wherever you can find me, and I'll do whatever I can to help out.
All right. Well, with that being said, I know you got to go grab dinner with the family, so I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I just wanted to say thank you so much for everybody that joined us today. Hopefully, if you had a question, I was able to get it up so that Greg could see it. And if not, make sure you reach out to him on TikTok, Discord, Facebook, and email, right?
Yep. And now YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. YouTube. So, that's right. You did your first live a couple of days ago.
Yeah. By accident.
Is that going to, was it by accident?
It's going to be a thing. But right now, I have this so I have this vision of like what you're doing, like bringing like thought leaders and stuff from the space, vendor acquisition, like vendor spotlights, things like that into, in addition to live selling. Like, I think TikTok has changed we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that's a whole other subject. We'll convene, because I know you got to go. So I don't want to take up any more of your time. Sorry about that. With that being said, thank you guys. And make sure you guys go check out AquaFindr's. The link to the website is pinned at the top of the comments, so it makes it easier to find it. And it's been shared throughout the chat throughout the day, throughout the evening. So make sure you check that out. Thank you guys again. Thank you so much for your guys' constant support, and we'll see you guys pretty soon. You guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Vámonos.